to be here with this group of people. They're leading a revolution in business and in genius and in every other word I think you could imagine. There's never been anything like it. The most brilliant people are gathered around this table. This is definitely a high IQ group, and I'm very proud of them. I know all of them indirectly, and I know some of them very well, but I know everybody at the table indirectly through reading about you and studying, knowing a lot about your business, actually. We're making it very easy for you in terms of electric capacity and getting it for you, getting your permits. We're leading China by a lot, by a great amount. And I just wanted to, the press was going a little bit crazy because they saw this group together. So I thought we would let you have a little access, maybe describe some of the great things that you're doing with your company. I know, Mark, you're building some buildings that are as large as Manhattan. That was pretty good, right? It's pretty good. So I thought you'd say a few words, and we could take a couple of questions later, maybe. Mark, would you like to say a few words about the company?
Sure. Well, I mean, it's. Sorry, should I turn this on?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for hosting us. I mean, this is quite a group to get together, and I think all of the companies here are building, just making huge investments in the country in order to build out data centers and infrastructure to power the next wave of innovation. So it's we don't often get together as the CEOs of the different companies, but it's good to see everyone.
How much are you spending, would you say, over the next few years?
Oh gosh, I mean, I think it's probably going to be something like, I don't know, at least $600 billion through 28 in the U.S. Yeah.
It's a lot.
No, it's significant.
That's a lot. Thank you, Mark. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Great to have you. David, you've done a wonderful job in working with the White House, a great expert. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great honor to work here at the White House and to work for you. You really care about this industry and all Americans, and I think you've done a tremendous amount already to unleash our innovators and also help build out the infrastructure of the country. And it's doing a lot, not just for tech companies, but for ordinary working Americans, the construction industry, the trades, electricians, carpenters. There's a boom happening right now in AI because of what President Trump has done in terms of stimulating investment. It's going to benefit all Americans. So it's really a thrill to be part of, and this is a really incredible group that you've assembled here. And it's like I said, it's just a great honor to have a foot in each one of these worlds and being part of it. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And Sergey, you were saying a lot in the Oval Office. I figured just somebody that likes to speak with his really wonderful MAGA girlfriend. So would you like to say a few words?
Well, babe, do you want to say something?
I truly, every time I'm here or in your presence, I'm so grateful. So thank you. It's like, I can't believe it every time, like the inauguration here. I think you're doing amazing work.
Thank you very much.
We actually were just with
Leopold.
He's
in Venezuela.
Right.
And you're applying a lot of pressure to Maduro. And I think that's phenomenal for an American president to actually be applying pressure there in Venezuela and then hopefully in Cuba and so forth. So there's a lot of civil rights work that you're leading. We didn't get a chance to mention. I also just wanted to mention, we don't have to get into all the details we talked about in the Oval Office, but I think it's a real incredible inflection point right now in AI, and the fact that your administration is supporting our companies instead of fighting with them. It's hugely important. Obviously, it's a global race, and I think we're at the cusp where these AI models are about to become profoundly useful, kind of beyond the, okay, wow, it's cool, can do that, but actually day-to-day incredible utility, incredible productivity. So very grateful for your administration support.
Well, you had a very good day yesterday. Google had a very good day yesterday. And do you want to talk about that big day you had yesterday?
I'm glad it's over. And,
Don't forget, Biden was the one that prosecuted that lawsuit. You know that, right?
Look, it's a long process. I appreciate that your administration had a constructive dialogue, and we were able to get it to some of resolution. I would echo what Sergey said. I think the AI moment is one of the most transformative moments any of us have ever seen or will see in our lifetimes. So making sure the U.S. is at the forefront, and I think your administration is investing a lot. Already the AI action plan under your leadership, I think, is a great start, and we look forward to working together, and thanks for your leadership.
Great job you're doing. Incredible, really, job. Lisa, how about you?
Well, Mr. President, it's such an honor to be here, and the incredible work that your administration has done to support the semiconductor industry. We're building the brains behind all of the wonderful AI that's being built here, and I think the amount of acceleration that we've seen just in the few short months that the administration has been in place is really, we're so grateful for that support. And we had a wonderful event this afternoon with the First Lady's support of the AI education plan. So I think the main message is we are all in to make sure that America wins the AI race, and it's an honor to be here.
Thank you very much. Great job you're doing, too. Amazing job, what you've done in a short period of time. Really amazing. And I see somebody down there, Bill, from Microsoft that has done a pretty good job, too. I'll tell you what, I had that stock, it was 28, and now it's about 500 and something. I don't know. It's what a job you've done. Would you say a few words about your company?
Absolutely, Mr. President. Thank you so much, obviously, for bringing us all together and the policies that you have put in place for the United States to lead. And one of the things that I think has made this industry unique is not only the innovation, but it's the market access that you have obviously championed for us all over the world, and also the trust the world has on American technology. I think that everything that you're doing in terms of setting in place the platform where the rest of the world can not only use our technology, but trust our technology more than any other alternative is perhaps the most important issue. And you and your policies are really helping a lot. So thank you very much. And also I wanted to thank Madam First Lady for hosting what I think is perhaps the most defining issue, which is about skilling and economic opportunity that comes with AI. And so I deeply appreciate your leadership there as well.
Thank you. Really, and a really amazing job you've done.
Thank you.
Bill, would you like to say a few words?
Well, I'm in the second phase of my career, giving away all the wonderful money that Satya's good work has helped multiply a lot. But I think the thing that ties my first career that I still spend some time on because AI is so phenomenal, and my second career is innovation, innovating in health in areas like vaccines or gene editing, and the President and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate some of these diseases. He mentioned polio, which is one that we're close. We don't need new science on that one. For some like HIV and sickle cell, we do need new science, but the U.S. Has the seeds that in the same way that Warp Speed took those seeds and put them together, I think something fantastic can be done. AI for our foundation is that we want a doctor for everyone in Africa through AI. We want farmers to have incredible advice and kids to have a chance to learn. So the work being done by the people at this table is changing the world. It's coming fast, so it's great. We all get together and talk about how the U.S. can lead in this key area and apply it even to the poorest outside the U.S. as well as to our great citizens. So thank you for incredible leadership, including getting this group together.
Thank you, Bill. That's very nice. Tim Cook, you've done an incredible job with Apple, little company called Apple.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Very, very few people have been able to do what you've done. Congratulations. Please.
Thank you, sir. That means a lot to me. I want to thank you for including me this evening. It's incredible to be among everyone here, particularly you and the First Lady. I've always enjoyed having dinner and interacting. I want to thank you for setting the tone such that we could make a major investment in the United States. and have some key manufacturing, advanced manufacturing here. I think that says a lot about your focus and your leadership and your focus on innovation. I also want to thank you for helping American companies around the world. This is a very key thing, and I really enjoy working with your administration on those topics as well, because I think they're so important to the country. I want to thank the First Lady for focusing on education. There's nothing more important than education. It is the great equalizer and always will be. And so thank you so much for including me. We are all different in some ways, but we all believe in the power of technology to improve people's lives, and that is the thing that binds us all together.
And Tim, how much money will Apple be investing in the United States? Because I know it's a very lot, and it's, you know, you were elsewhere, and now you're really coming home in a big way. How much money will you be investing?
$600 billion.
$600 billion, all right? It's a lot of jobs.
We're very proud to do it.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Sam, you're a big leader of a very new industry at a very young age. You're a young guy. Do you want to tell us about what you're doing? You told me things before that are absolutely unbelievable. So what are you doing?
First of all, to echo the comments of Tim and others, thank you so much for getting us all together, and thank you for being such a pro-business, pro-innovation president. It's a very refreshing change. We're very excited to see what you're doing to make all of our companies and our entire country so successful. The investment that's happening here, the ability to get the power in the industry back in the United States, I think this will set us up for a long period of great success leading the world, and I don't think that would be happening now without your leadership. We're very grateful to be able to build our company here, to build data centers here, to build the entire AI industry and lead the world in the United States. Echoing many other people's comments, I think this will transform the world in a profound way, and I think it really will be to the United States' advantage to be able to lead the world this way. The event that the First Lady hosted today about education was really wonderful, and watching what AI is doing even today for education and so many other industries is really great. So thank you so much for enabling this. We will invest a ton in the United States, and we will do our best to make sure that we continue to lead here.
That's right. Thank you. Hundreds of billions of dollars, and it's going to be well worth it. And you have an unlimited market, right?
It seems like it.
Come to think of it, how much is Google investing?
We are well north of $100 billion. In the next 2 years, it's $250 billion in
great.
the U.S.
That's great. Great. We're proud of you. Very good. Thank you. A lot of jobs. Good. What about Microsoft? That's a big number.
Each year, we are close to, in the United States, around $75 to $80 billion.
Good. Very good. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Would anybody like to say anything? You have a lot of geniuses on my right. Some young, some not so young. Mostly young, come to think of it. Yes, please.
I just wanted to echo everyone's comments. I think we've been just very impressed with how this administration has really embraced AI. And I think that in addition to the infrastructure, the most massive infrastructure built in history, I mean, we're talking 10x the size of the Apollo program. I think also, to me, the most important thing is what AI will do for all of us. And I think that there's been a choice of whether to approach it with optimism. And I think that that's what I've really seen from this administration. So I just wanted to say thank you for that.
Great job you're doing. Incredible job you're doing. I know every inch that you're building, and I can't believe it. They're big. The biggest buildings ever. You know, we talked about 100-story buildings. These buildings blow them away, right? So I just want to, they're more lateral than they are up and down, but they blow everything away. So congratulations. Would anybody like to say anything, please? Satya?
Mr. President.
Would you like to go, Safra?
This is a most incredible time. AI is going to change everything. You hear all of us saying that. But the fact that you are our president and you recognize this right away and you've unleashed American innovation and creativity, all the work you're doing in basically every cabinet post, in addition to what's coming out of the White House, is making it possible for America to win. Today's event that was spearheaded by our wonderful First Lady, focusing on education, is the center of where we need to go, because it is all of these young people who can't be afraid of new technologies. They literally have to embrace it and make America even stronger. And that focus was very, very critical. And I think this is the most exciting time in America ever, at least that I remember. So thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you very much. I appreciate saying hello to everybody, Larry and everybody else. It's an amazing company that you're involved with and running. I just want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank the media. They've been very nice lately, although I'm still here. So we have to. They made a couple of bad predictions. So that was not good. I've never had that feeling before. I went to an event and people are coming up to me and saying, "You're still here." I said, "What do they mean by that? I didn't hear about this." But anyway, I do. The press has been great in terms of this industry, and they understand the importance of it. This is taking our country to a new level. We're leading the world. We're leading China, but we're leading the world by a lot, and we're leading it because of the people around the table. And all I can do is implement and make it a lot easier for you, and I'll be doing that 100%. So I just want to thank you all. Yes, did you have a question? Go ahead.
President.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tomorrow we have a jobs report coming out, the first since the BLS commissioner who you fired won't be there. A lot of people will be turning to you to see if you believe the data that's released. Can you commit to saying the data will be credible?
The number, I don't know, they come out tomorrow, but the real numbers that I'm talking about are going to be whatever it is, but will be in a year from now when these monstrous, huge, beautiful places, they're palaces of genius, and when they start opening up, you're seeing, I think you'll see job numbers that are going to be absolutely incredible. Right now it's a lot of construction numbers, but you're going to see job numbers like our country has never seen before. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have two questions for you. First, after your phone call with Ukrainian President Zelensky today, do you plan to speak with Russia's President Putin in the near future?
What?
If you will speak with President Putin in the near future.
I will be, yeah, I will be. We're having a very good dialogue. I settled 7 wars. The one that I thought would be maybe one of the easiest. You know that feeling? You think one thing is going to be easier, turns out to be a little bit tougher. But the one that I thought would be an easier one because of my relationship with President Putin and with Ukraine and everything else, I thought it would be the Russia-Ukraine disaster, where this week 7,014 people were killed, soldiers, in most cases soldiers, a few from Kiev, relatively few, but mostly soldiers, and they're being killed at levels that we haven't seen since World War II. And they're not American. They're not from any of the countries that some of you are from, but they're people, they're souls, and we'll get it done. But that's turned out to be the most difficult of the group. You know, I settled 3 wars. One was 31 years going. A lot of people killed, 10 million people. Another was 34, and another was 37 years it was going on. And people said, you can't settle them, and I settled them. This one turned out to be more difficult, but we'll get it. We're going to get it settled.
Mr. President, Senator Bill Cassidy said effectively we're denying people vaccines. Do you have full confidence in what RFK Jr. is doing?
Well, I didn't get to watch the hearings today, but he's a very good person. And he means very well, and he's got some little different ideas. I guarantee a lot of the people at this table like RFK Jr., and I do. But he's got a different take, and we want to listen to all of those takes. But I heard he did very well today. But it's not your standard. It's not your standard talk, I would say, and that has to do with medical and vaccines. But if you look at what's going on in the world with health, and look at this country also with regard to health, I like the fact that he's different. Okay?
President, can you give us your latest thinking on semiconductor tariffs, sir, which you're considering imposing? And have you discussed that with any of the leaders gathered
Yeah, I
today?
have. I've discussed it with the people here, chips and semiconductors, and we'll be putting tariffs on companies that aren't coming in. will be putting a tariff very shortly. You probably are hearing we'll be putting a fairly substantial tariff on, not that high, but fairly substantial tariff, with the understanding that if they come into the country, if they're coming in, building, planning to come in, there will not be a tariff.
So investment.
If they're not coming in, there's a tariff, fairly substantial tariff. Well, I don't know if they're building here, and for the most part, I think they're building here. That's probably why they're here for the, but like I would say, Tim Cook would be in pretty good shape. No, please.
Mr. President, are you urging or encouraging any candidates in the New York City mayor's race to drop out to clear the field?
No, I don't like to see a communist become mayor, I will tell you that. And I don't think you can win unless you have one-on-one, because somehow he's gotten a little bit of a lead. I have no idea how that happened, but I'd prefer not to have a communist mayor of New York City. And, you know, that's what he is based on his policy, if you look at his statements in the past. So I would like to see two people drop out and have it be one-on-one, and I think that's a race that could be won. Yeah.
Mr. President, you'll be heading to the UK in a few weeks. Yesterday, Nigel Farage was on Capitol Hill. He really was talking a lot about pushing back on censorship online. He was asking politicians like yourself, some of the people in this room, to really push back on that. How concerning is that to you? And Mr. Zuckerberg, if you don't mind answering, how concerning is that to you, the lack of freedom of speech online in the UK?
You didn't think you'd get that question, did you? He's looking at me saying, how the hell? He's saying, how did I get that question? If you'd like to answer, free speech.
Sorry, I actually wasn't paying attention. But
There seems to be a crackdown. The British government seems to be cracking down on social media posts, people being arrested for tweets, social posts. Just wondering how concerning that is to you, Mr. President, and Mr. Zuckerberg.
This is the beginning of your political career.
No, it's not.
I will just say that in terms of UK, strange things are happening over there. They are cracking down, and surprisingly so. And I've spoken to the Prime Minister, and let's see what happens. But it is a little bit different situation. I'm very surprised to see what's happening are you talking about the UK in particular, right? Yeah, I'm very surprised to see what's happening. Sad. It's not a good thing. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, thank you. America is first in artificial intelligence, but what are your concerns in the alliance of axis of evil, China, Russia, and North Korea towards artificial intelligence, but also as military, sir?
Well, I have no concerns. We have the most brilliant people at this table, and nobody's close. And I spoke to world leaders, and they admit privately, but they admit the biggest. They admit we have the smartest people, we have the greatest technology. They can copy, but they can't create like we can create. We have the smartest people in the world right at this table. So thank you for the question. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much.
What's your reaction on Florida changing its vaccine mandate yesterday?
I'll comment on that later. Thank you very much.
Mr. Gates, what do you think of the change in vaccine policy?
Sorry.
Bob Marley said, see them fighting for power, but they don't know the hour. The world has changed in our lifetime. It is taking place real time, as we say. The world is changing in real time. You can literally see things changing until the war that is accompanying the war that will force everybody to wake up and say, hey, this is a new world upon us before we will understand what time is it. So why in Nigeria they are fighting for who is going to manage the resources for the highest bidder and for themselves, going head to head. The world is changing before us. Anyway, Ambush in the Night by Bob Marley and the Wailers. See them fighting for power, but they don't know the hour. That is where we are going to take our message from today. Today. Day. See, everyone that matters is there. Every fucking these are what Kilong Poensin, what's his name? These economists who wrote The Wealth of Nation. Adam Smith. These are what Adam Smith regard as masters of mankind. Those who are responsible for things that make the modern days work. Those are people Adam Smith referred as masters of mankind. So in the world that we're in today, masters of mankind, let me this. These are the most important individuals on the planet Earth today. These motherfuckers right here will run the next 100 years. Clean cuts. From the way we communicate and from the way we transport ourselves. From the way we do everything as we know yesterday will not be the same again as we go on. Everything will change. And these are people right here tasked with that responsibility. Elon Musk is not in here. I will not be here either if I'm in his shoe. Tesla just offered the guy $1 trillion. $1 trillion as a form of motivation. Motherfucker. Over the next 10 years. Think about it. That is the best marketer the world has ever seen to date. He is the best marketer the world has seen today. Elon Musk. As we speak, as of today, this took place last night, and that decision came to airwave today. Tesla is offering Elon Musk $1 trillion over the next 10 years. Under one condition. You have to make the company value $8 trillion within the next 10 years. That's that. That's it. That's what he needed to do. All he needs to do going on is to make Tesla one, or if not the most valuable company on the planet Earth, with a market cap of what? 8 trillion. And $1 trillion is guaranteed over the next 10 years. Few conditions attached. You have to reduce your involvement of politicking. You have to stay out of politics, stay focused, and let's go. So it's a bet. And he hasn't lost any bets so far. So I don't think anybody would guess against that. So if you are wondering why he's not here seated, if you see this video anytime from now in the future, or for Nigeria, all those are what question where they go to ask. Why is Elon Musk not in the White House? And I did that. Now I'm telling you why he's not here. You are going to hear all kind of propaganda that will come on. Oh, because he's not in good time with the president. Oh, because he was banned from coming to the White House. All those bullshit. No, that's not the case. Elon Musk has been in negotiation for the past couple of weeks with Tesla. and they finally come to a deal. $1 trillion as a form of motivation over the next 10 years, only if you take Tesla to be one of the, or if not the most valuable company on the planet Earth with a market cap of $8 trillion. Boom. So I won't be here either. Yeah, so there's nothing like they fight out. No, 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 no. Anything you hear outside is cap. Anyway, this is where the world is right now. On this day, 5th of September 2025, it's 12 noon in Hoboken, New Jersey. So, history right here in the making. I'm just here to put it out there for history purposes. Anyway, we'll go to the business of the day. As I said, we are building today's conversation around Bob Marley's evergreen hit. Ambush in the Night. Ambush in the Night by Bob Marley and the Wailers. Listen to it, not just for the sound, the beats, but the words. He's speaking to us Nigerians. This Bob Marley, this is his way of his speaking. The comment section. You be Nigerian man. I don't know how you dey bear or Dios, the Dios. I know that you be Nigerian man. Anyway, I cited you. Bob Marley spoke to us many, many decades ago. I'll see the year if they put down when this song was. Anybody that know Dr. Damage, you should ask him. I think he will be familiar with this. So, this song was composed with not just Nigeria, but we that are alive today, this generation was composed for us. It says, see them fighting for power. Ooh, we let's forget about the Irie part of it. Now, talking about the Irie, talking about Bob Marley. So, I think, I don't know. I want to relocate to Jamaica. Maybe Nigeria I go live the later part of my life. Or I should date a Jamaican woman. Because at this point, I'm tired. I am tired. Anywhere I go, now part where everybody they speak to me. Everybody. I'm beginning to feel embarrassed, especially when older people, caught me unaware. I know they feel respond. I can't respond the way I should. So it's embarrassing. And at times, before I was able to put one or two together, I'm on emotion, then the people they'll begin get these feelings, this guy is snowballs or whatever. But that's not the case. So today, a couple of minutes, before I go on live. There's this Jamaican, sorry, there's this Ghanaian, she not Ghanaian, say. Anyway, there's this place where they go buy food all the time. I think it's Ghanaian. Anyway, there's a Ghanaian, there's a Nigerian from Niger State, right? From one woman from Niger State. There is a Ghanaian. These are the three people were, you know, you always meet one of these three or three of them at the same time. Then there's a Caribbean African store by it. So as I walk into that Caribbean African store, I go buy kuli kuli. See, buy kuli kuli and what? Something to drink anyway. Then there's this elderly man standing, I mean, for sure, with his dreads and nose in there. So the guy begin flow. As in, he caught me unawares. So, I mean, and I'm on emotion, they was trying to, as if I'm trying to catch up with her, just make her bust out. So that was not, you know, what I was expecting. So I walked past the man fast before something could click in my head. Say, come, nigga, this man, they hear you now. But before I could turn back, the man don't go, don't vex. I was like, what the heck? Then, as soon as I paid, the other man walk in. It's as if, I don't know, the guy just, as soon as he opened the door, the guy begin flow. He begin go, bigger man, blah, blah. I was like, holy shit. So at that point, I don't know how to respond. So I begin to smile like fool. Then I tell the man, I say, come. I think it's becoming embarrassing. When the man say, I mean, what do I mean? I say, I'm not Jamaican, I'm Nigerian. I say, okay, see, you see the other man that walk out, he's angry because of me. Say, why? Because I couldn't respond, not because I don't want to, but because they take me unaware. And I don't know a word about, you know, how to. So the other man said, okay, I understand. I got your point. Don't be, you know, embarrassed. You know, the guy begin go deep about history, blah, 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 about my hair. Your hair. You know why people I say, I don't know. I get tribal mark. Most people don't know. I don't know why that vanish. My tribal mark day now. So even though my tribal mark no they even. I'm not sure say Jamaicans they get tribal mark. So yeah, my hair and all that kind of shit. Like it's just too much. Here, this area from New York, New Jersey, it's like 1 out of every 5 people I see for road is a Jamaican. And they know they even let that thing come as soon as they see me, just yeah, why man, big man, but like yo. So I don't know. I think I'm going to Jamaica. Or maybe I go get Jamaican woman. That's pretty much. If not, God, it's too much. I am tired of explaining. I was smiling like a fool at the same time. Anyway, enough of my dry Jamaican life. That's my other life. So Bob Marley says, see them fighting for power. That is our leaders. They want to be a manager. That's what they want to do. But they know not the hour. They ain't got no clue what is going on. Now what they know, they ain't carried us along, the people. So that's why they always diverse. When somebody comes and say, Nigerians say that. No, the hatred, yes, there's a class to it. There's a caveat, get where it is. Right? They don't want to carry us along that this is what is happening. Right? The world is literally changed right before our very time. So they bring in with their guns, they are bribing with their guns, spare parts and money, trying to belittle our integrity. Isn't that what they are doing? At the next couple of months, they will begin share money, share guns at the same time, trying to intimidate us to follow. Then those with the internet go, they insult their father and mother, say, their will must be done. They say what we know is just what they teach us. And we are so ignorant. Isn't that true? Isn't that just a fact? In fact, this one will be in because when you listen to a lot of us analyze our real-time experience, you go the one that say, "Come on, man, this is the way they talk. So does that actually relate to the reality that the Nigerians are facing?" No, but because the media, the schools, the religious institution, everything that was supposed to teach us, put us the right way, they teach us nonsense. So they are not just thinking that all we know is what they teach us. It is actually facts. But Mali continue and say, because every time they can't reach us through political strategy, they keep us hungry. And when you gonna get some food, your brother got to be your enemy. Now let's this particular part relate to the three of them, right? Because every time they cannot reach us, what did they do? Through their political strategies and whatever, which is in fact, they know if they feel reach us to do that, it's not enough. It's just there for we are a party's sake. What is it for? Just to grab power. So what did they do? They keep us hungry. So Bola Tinubu is in power. He has to keep us hungry. So that food will be the number one priority for the majority. And because we all need that food, in an attempt to get that food, what did they do? They will make sure we are enemies of each other. So that's why they thought, say, those people they thought, say, oh, Igbo hate Yoruba, Yoruba hate Hausa, Hausa hate Modakeke. That is not normal. This is a pure political strategy for us to go against each other. In the name of what? Survival. We all need food. And the food now is not literally like just like when Bible says man shall not live by food alone, doesn't mean literally. But whatever you want is coming through the policies of governments. So we have to look up to them. So your brother got to be your enemy at this point because what we want is different. My brother won't job. The other one, nobody wants job. He won't do business. The other one, everybody is different with his own demands, his own food. But we got to clash. So at the end of the day, it's all ambush in the night. All guns aiming at me. Ambush in the night. But this time around, anyone that make attempts to be with the majority, small with the people, this part of the song is related to that person. And Obi is in this category. Our ambush will be on it because he tried to come via the people. That's a taboo. So why the world is going, it's changing before one very hard. What we are interested in is what? Poor, 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 poor. Power. So let's go back to the main text for today. Let's start with come. I think I know we see this thing. I think I will have to spend time to work on some contents. Like I see this is my I tell you why I'm saying this. This guy right here.
Right now, we're being joined by Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, who's a lawyer, columnist.
This guy right here. I will need to go back to when he conducted damages and try to pull out the question I asked him. I think I can do it right now. What the heck, man? Shit, what do I got to lose? I don't know, but I think that would take so much work. But anyway, I will try. Anyway, I remember. Wait, this should be fun. This should be fun. Whoever who is watching, you are in for a treat. Let me try and attempt something every time. Let's look for Dr. Damage. Dr. Damage is 90 minutes. Yeah, it was 90 minutes Africa. Let me see. Interview Kokwabi. No, sorry. Kenneth, see? See if we will get that. Oh, I think would this be it? We can see. Because I don't know when at this one. Was it the last one he came? Could it be the last? Could he? Make I see. Could this be? Because the guy don't show here for it. Don't come Dr. Meji. Okay, let me see. Let's try. What the heck? Dr. Meji, where's the full interview now? Where's the full interview, doc? Hey, give me 2 minutes. Whoa. Wait, so don't come with This one is just 3 minutes, so definitely it's not here. I won't get it from there. This one is 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Nah. Let me see. It's not 90 minutes Africa. Maybe 90 minutes Africa. Everything's supposed to come like that, sir. Oh, okay, no. Let me do the other way around. Let me go back. Let me go to the cross, the cross, and do this. And here I go. I remember I asked, because I asked some question about Obi, this guy. Yeah, politics. I just say obedience go learn. I told them before 3 years ago, they come. If there's anything at all, learn, no gonna study in our country and the camp politics that is our play. I think they fail to do that. Let me see. They fail to do that. Even Aisha, well, Aisha is still going strong. Aisha is still in the game. She's still in the battlefield. Respect. She never jumped ship. All right. Let's go now. I think ba 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 ba. Da, 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 da. Can it? It's okay. Where's Kenneth? Where's Kenneth? Where's Kenneth edition? Where's Okunko edition? Wait, this can't be it. That can't be it. Where's Kenneth edition? Oh yes. Right. The fuck yeah. Let me guess you. Maybe I will make the call first. They're among the first people. Oh yeah, I did it. Let me see.
In TV world, do you see where the audience will do give?
Wait,
He answered it in a very sharpish manner, but it wasn't my place to come back to him.
The fuck was I?
When you continue to give such an excuse, you will never grow as a country. By
that defense, space, just
away with whatever they want to do. So how can you begin to blame external powers for our corruption and for our incompetence? Americans will watch their system, get the collaborators amongst them, deal with them, take them out, and defend their country from external aggression. And an African man will continue to cry, oh, French, oh, when slavery was there, oh, slavery was your problem. When colonization was there, slavery ended. Oh, colonization is your problem. When independence came again, oh, the white neocolonialism. That's how you'll be crying until you die. My friend, let us grow up. We are an independent country and we should take responsibility for whatever we've done. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ikolola.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Mazovie, you're next.
I don't like when Rudolph wear blue and tie. It's always appear very wicked. How can you bring a man of so many life and so many characters? We just ask one question. I'll go ask 1.5. Let me not go into praise and alcohol lady. I know you will receive a lot of that. Now, as a professional actor, if you are to act in Nnamdi Kanu, to play Nnamdi Kanu, what will you portray him as? But now, my question will go to the obedience side. You were making case for Nollywood when Rudolph asked you the question and what do you think of Nollywood? You were full of, from your expression, you were so proud of what you guys achieved in the space of 30 years. But you follow that defense by saying how you guys lost the future, because that's the future, to Amazon to Netflix and all that. And I could see the disappointment in your face. That's now lead me to the obedient question. You guys entered the obedient movement about eight months after losing the major election, which is the presidential election. I don't see any deliberate attempt to institutionalize it in our polytechnics, in our college of university, in our universities, or in our markets. I don't see any deliberate attempt to that. Is it lack of ideology, or it is the lack of what I accuse the Nigerian elite for, to which you belong in two dimensions as a politician and as an actor? Lack of vision and greed. Is that what is playing out again in the obedience space? Like just as you lost the future of the Nollywood industry to the external factor.
All right, thank you.
And the Kano as an actor. That's just the
as an actor, one of
I don't know. Let's say I be Dr. Lameji, are you there? I go call this part, go play, maybe you still say I see the future. That was 8 months after they lose the election. And that's about a year and how many months ago now. So fast forward to today, this was a year plus. So fast forward to today. Let's listen to his response first. I think I was spot on in that question, man. We're in the future now.
Use my talent to portray Kenneth Okonkwo in any film I want to do.
That's a political answer. I like that.
Then, then the next question you did, I didn't say we're losing to Amazon. I said we must align with Amazon. I was just using it as a philosophical guide to show that we have to change our tune to the prevailing technological advancement so that we can remain relevant. Because the manual way of distribution is giving way for the technological and the electronic way of distribution. So I was actually saying that we should align. We have our own indigenous, technological, marketing outfits that are coming on online. So I was talking about alignment and changing, not losing it to. Amazon is recruiting some of our movies in its platform, which is commendable. The world is now a global village, and everybody must tune in to that global arena. So that's, by the way, the obedience.
And now, you see, even though he tried to respond, because I know exactly what he said, but what is playing out now, they are complaining that Amazon is screwing them up. And that was what I'm saying. It doesn't matter either you want to align or you want to, no, be a competitor, be different. Let's build your own platform. Let people come. Don't hinge on somebody else's platform in the name of align. This is what alignment causes. People are complaining. I think I will need to do a special section on this. Even on that, I just did lazy. I need to work. I need to just go. I want to go print headlines. Bring all those what is going on right now within the actors and Amazon with this is response. Anyway.
Is an organic movement. There is no one person in charge of it. They are in charge.
That's now lead me to the obedient question. You guys entered the obedient movement 8 months after losing the major election, which is the presidential election. I don't see any deliberate attempt to institutionalize it in our polytechnics, in our college of university, in our universities, or in our market square. I don't see any deliberate attempt to that. Is it lack of ideology, or it is the lack of what I accuse the Nigerian elite for, to which you belong in two dimensions as a politician and as an actor? Lack of vision and greed. Is that what is playing out again in the obedience space? Like just as you lost the future of the Nollywood industry to the external factor.
All right, thank you.
And the Kano, what would you put Kano as an actor? That's just the
as an actor, I want to use my talent to portray Kenneth Okonkwo in any film I want to do.
That's a political answer. I like that.
Then, then the next question you did, I didn't say we're linked to Amazon. I said we must align with Amazon. I was just using it as a philosophical guide to show that we have to change our tune to the prevailing technological advancement so that we can remain relevant. Because the manual way of distribution is giving way for the technological and the electronic way of distribution. So I was actually saying that we should align. We have our own indigenous, technological, marketing outfits that are coming on online. So I was talking about alignment and changing, not losing it to. Amazon is recruiting some of our movies in its platform, which is commendable. The world is now a global village, and everybody must tune in to that global arena. So that's, by the way, the obedient movement is an organic movement. There is no one person in charge of it. They are in charge of themselves. It came up on its own, and everybody evolved with his own interests. So you cannot dictate to the obedient family worldwide on what they would do. It's not a political party. So because it evolved organically, you have to be patient with it to continue evolving until it is harnessed in a particular way and form a structure. It is a movement you cannot break into. And you talked about ideology. Ideology is what is actually sustaining that movement, not human being. The ideology of a new Nigeria. The idea of a third force has always been muted, but they've not found a compass. So that they saw in P2P, and that's why you saw them now galvanized. In 2019, they wanted that third force on it, but they couldn't find a mentor. In 2023, that mentor emerged in P2P, a man they can relate with, a man that they saw is a man of character, competence, and capacity. So immediately they saw the man, they were able to articulate that ideology around him. So it is not fading. The thing is that I would want you to withdraw the word that we lost election. No. INEC did not declare us winners. Till today, as I'm talking to you, INEC has not produced polling unit by polling unit result of that presidential election as required by law. And I'm talking about section 62 of the Electoral Act. When we went to court in the Court of Appeal, 3 orders were given for them to allow us to inspect those machines. They did not obey any. They rather went to the same court to get an order to reconfigure beavers, giving the excuse that they want to conduct a governor's election. So the issue here is that the honest truth is that whoever tells you this person won that election is a conjecture, because the INEC itself has not produced results to show the world. They just came and announced results. If you were writing a mathematics examination and they ask you a question and you go straight to quote the answer, they will tell you stole it. You must give the formula. Each formula has its own mark before you go to quote answer. So this INEC just woke up by 4:30 a.m. one day and quoted an answer. Till today, I don't know where they got the answer. Tell us now where you got the answer. Say they had technical glitch. If you had technical glitch, then technical glitch has glitched the election. Organize another one. And you just came and just announced a result that will continue to haunt them forever. So that's actually what happened. We did not lose that election, but INEC did not declare us winners.
All right, thank you, Maaziovi. You reminded me of a question that I asked the party chairman, the Labour Party chairman, when he came here. Dr. Kenneth, we asked him about your own agents' results, the ones that your agents submitted to the party. And he said that you got about 60% of agents returning their polling units results. And we said, can we see that? Did you tabulate that? Did you make it public? And he said he will make it, let us know, make it public. We haven't heard from him. Wanted to know if you know about any effort to put it together.
Well, I was a member of the legal team, and I can tell you categorically that even from the results uploaded in IREF portal, we won Benue State, we won Rivers State. I'm talking about the results INEC uploaded in IREF portal, and we calculated it, and we presented it as part of the things we came to court with. Yet they said any evidence you got through stopping witness is not admissible. That was how they killed it. So even if you have those things, they would have found a way to kill it.
No, I'm not talking about the court now. I'm talking about public opinion.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
Now, most of those results were mutilated. When you talk about the agency something, let me tell you, when they want to give that agency, they don't write it differently. They carbonate it. And you can imagine about 18 political parties. So at times, before you get the one that is on the bottom, it might be faint. You won't see anything. In any case, the law did not say that the mere fact that agents are allowed to be in the party ground, in the polling unit ground, it did not exonerate INEC from presenting the evidence which the law say they must present. Good. Now, the law recognizes that it's not every party that can or will be able to sponsor agents in 176 polling units. That is why the law did not make it compulsory on political parties to have agents in every polling unit. If you go to the law, they will say may. And if you don't have any agent, it does not nullify the election. Because the law recognizes. So it is INEC that conducts elections. It is the duty of INEC to conduct free, fair, credible, and verifiable elections. They don't have any excuse. And the main fact that a party has or does not have any agent copy should have nothing to do with free, fair election. In America, I don't even remember whether they talk about parties having copies. So it's ridiculous. I don't even want us to push our electoral system to that side, because like I told you, most of these agents' copies, even by nature, they are faint. So nothing should relieve INEC of the duty to do what they are supposed to do in law.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Alaba, the next.
All right. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Dr. Zamich. Let's go back to let's go back to today. Fast forward to today. That ideology, I don't know. Kulat as a cult of personality is not an ideology. That's what he put on the comment section there. So let's see. Let's go to today's. Let's see what if that ideology still holds. Yeah, one day.
Columnist and public affairs analyst. I was going to add the fact that you're a politician.
Yes, I am.
You are a politician with the ADC, aren't you?
Absolutely.
So you haven't left the ADC?
No.
You're still very...
You just started.
Because there are people who have very strong doubts about the viability of this ADC. And they're unsure about what exactly it really means. Is it really a coalition? They had come out as a coalition, but it now appears that they're just a political party standing by themselves.
Oh, well, let me start by wishing our Muslim brothers and sisters happy Eid Maulud, and may the birth of Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him, bring us the birth of a better Nigeria. Thank you, viewers, for joining us. Now, you see, What happened with ADC is a novel thing. It has not happened before in Nigeria. So I understand why people mistake a whole lot of things. This is the first time in Nigeria the national executive of a political party, resigned and allowed a new executive party to take over on their own. So a coalition simply means alliance, to work together for a purpose, chose the party to use as their party henceforth. So it's not a merger. So the coalition is now dissolved into a political party. So it is not now like a coalition that parties, as in political parties, are going to work together. No. They have now dissolved into a political party. So it's now one party.
I understand that. But, I mean, and we've since seen, because people have been asking questions, as a result of that, we saw the resignation of some prominent members of the PDP, for instance. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who resigned his membership of the PDP. We saw Senator David Mark, resigning his membership of the PDP. He's the chairman of this coalition of the ADC. We've seen a number of resignations, but we've seen other people, stay in their political parties, but say, I support the coalition. But there are questions as to if you're supporting this coalition, it would seem that you cannot be here and here.
Well, basically, there is, strictly speaking, there is no more any party like PDP or LP. They are just existing in papers. Because whoever is in PDP is either supporting APC or ADC. That's what it is. If the leaders of PDP had come out openly to say they are supporting the presidential candidate of another political party, that's the end of a party. 2 years before the time of the election. So strictly speaking, there is no party except on paper. And parties are meant to be on the people, of the people.
Oh, you say there is no PDP and there's no Labour Party?
No, where are they? You are there when Enwike, who is supposed to be a leader of PDP, had told you openly that he was going to support the presidential candidate of another political party. So where is it? And he had told you that anything and anybody that goes against whatever he says, he will ignite fire in his state if he's a state governor. And he has told you that whatever he says is law. And in fairness to him, it has been like that. The Southeast, entire Southeast, say they preferred a secretary, Udokoye, for the political party. And if it's not given to them, they are going to leave PDP. Mike said, no, it has to be Samuel Ayan. And today is Samuel Ayan.
No, but he didn't just say that. This is not in his defense. You are a lawyer.
Absolutely.
He was standing on the basis of law to say you can't just remove somebody, you have to follow due process.
Now, let me state one thing. He maintained that position even before the Supreme Court gave judgment. And what the Supreme Court simply said in the judgment is that the political parties have the right to choose whoever they so choose. And the court has no jurisdiction to interfere in what any political party has decided. How does this judgment mean that it is now Samuel Ayan? Strictly speaking, as a lawyer. So you see, you have a way when you are the power broker to interpret the law to suit yourself. So be it. What about the other things he's saying? Is it not crude anti-party to say you're supporting the presidential candidate of another political party in the coming election? No reason. In 2023, he will pretend and purport that he had a reason. In 2027, what's the reason? And he has made it open. So there's no party like PDP. So PDP, by Wike, who is their leader, has already chosen their presidential candidate. Okay. And they have zoned the presidential ticket to him. And that's Bola Tinubu.
I think that the PDP can defend themselves on this. But let's take
No, I wish them well.
Let's take on the Labour Party.
Recall that some members of PDP have said that if you are in PDP and you are supporting APC, they also have the right to be in PDP and support another political party. They said it. That's why I say there is no party like PDP. And I mean it. And I reserve the right to maintain that stand. Because if PDP officially is sanctioning the people that have taken that stand and said they are not going to discipline them, that means they've condoned them. And condonation means you are an accomplice to it. So PDP as a political party has decided through condonation and being an accomplice to zone their tickets to President Ahmed Tinubu. I wish them well. So the only political party now...
That's the implication you read to that particular zone.
Absolutely, and I'm giving you empirical facts.
As I said, the PDP has a right to defend themselves.
I agree with you.
We'll wait to see that. So let us take a
look. So ADC is the only political party that is the opposition party.
No. You just dismissed the Labour Party.
They're not... Is there a Labour Party now?
As far as we know,
remember I told you that they are existing on paper.
Yes,
you have up to 18 political parties.
The candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, has not resigned his membership of the Labour Party.
Good.
He said
2023.
Yes, he has said he supported, the ADC, but we haven't seen him take the steps that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has taken in support of the ADC. Do you think that, he's still considering what his chances are, especially when Vice President Atiku Abubakar says, he's going to be contesting this 2027 general elections?
Very good. You just said that one cannot be here and here. I heard it from you when we started. So if he said he's supporting the ADC, permit me to say he cannot be here and there. So,
he can change his mind.
Well, you're sure.
Is allowed to change his mind?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So is it? Can you,
as long as he has not changed his mind?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you then totally rule out?
Yes.
The Labour Party in the coming elections?
I am ruling out the Labour Party and whoever decides to run under Labour Party in the next election. Take my words for it.
Why?
Because it's not existing. Where are the structures? No board executives, no local government executives, no polling unit executives,
Did they really
no
do
state
that?
executives.
Did they have
now
that
there's no national executive. And you think you can do wonders? And you alone, you are the only politician, the name is being thrown around. In politics, a tree does not make a forest. And in Nigeria, any one tree that is leading any political party, that forest is dead. Because even if you win, they will take it away from you.
Let's go to Lagos now. I understand my colleague Ayo has questions for you. Ayo.
Thank you, Malkwe. Well, still on that issue that you just spoke to, Mr. Okonkwo, you don't think that the obedient movement might take issues, with the issue, with what you have said now, that the candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, is the sole tree that making the forest of the Labour Party? Is that what you're saying? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Well, you said just now that it seems to you that Mr. Obi is the only tree that is making the forest of the Labour Party. On the one hand, there are those who would wonder whether or not the Labour Party would agree with you. On the other hand, whether or not you think the obedient movement might be on your side on that issue you just raised.
Well, first of all, you misquoted me a little bit, and thank God I've not left your studio. I said there is nothing like Labour Party existing anywhere except on paper. And I said no one person, no one politician can be a tree that can make a forest in democracy. Because democracy is about numbers. Democracy is about the majority. And I said any one politician that decides to be alone, to be in a political party, is as dead as that politician. And I said if any one politician decides to go the way of Labour Party in 2027, and he's the only one there, he will not make any impact at all. That's what I said. So anybody has the right to agree or disagree. But I'm telling you that in Nigeria, even if that politician wins and he's the only one in that political party, they will take it away from him and nothing will happen.
Well, the issue, one of the issues to raise with you then would now be to ask you, do you think Mr. Obi will remain in the Labour Party in the upcoming presidential election because he has said that he would contest, or you think he should leave?
Well, that question is hypothetical, and I am not a prophet to know what is going on in Peter Obi's mind. So when you see Peter Obi, kindly ask him that. As for me, I don't know. I don't speak for him.
It's because of what you said.
For now, he has not decided on any political platform he wants to run. And Ayo, if you have the spirit of clairvoyance, you can help me on that.
Well, the reason I asked that question actually is because of what you said. That on the one hand, the Labour Party doesn't really have strong enough structures to bear any candidate. As far as you're concerned, the Labour Party does not exist. So that raises the question. Okay.
They don't have any structure at all.
That's the basis of the question. Yeah, that's the basis of the question, Mr. Okonkwo. Do you think, I mean, given that he performed very, very well on the platform of that party without those structures, and I think Marco was trying to reference that, without those structures, he did very, very well in the last elections. So that's why I'm asking whether or not you think he should consolidate on the success he had in the last election with that particular Labour Party, or you think there is a chance that maybe he could jump ship?
Well, like I said, first and foremost, in 2023, we had our structure in Labour Party. We had the national executive, we had the state executives, we have the ward executives. Such structures do not exist anymore. And as you can know, as I'm talking to you today, even the national leadership of Labour Party is an issue. The INEC cannot even categorically tell you who they are, neither can anybody. So that's what I'm saying, that for now, they don't have any structures at all. And then you're asking me, do I think? And your question is hypothetical. So I'm not a prophet like I told you. You said, do I think that Peter Obi will run under Labour Party or not? And he has told you he supports ADC. And he has not told you any party he would want to run on. So I wouldn't know the answer to that question.
That's interesting.
Until he makes his decision and makes it clearer. If you recall, one reason I say I wouldn't speak for him is that I said I will not speak for a person that I do not understand his stand on important national issues. Now, I do not understand his stand on anything about 2027. So it's still a mystery that he would have to break. And
Interesting.
That can do that.
Interesting that you are a member of the ADC and you know that both the ADC and the PDP are courting Mr. Peter Obi. Why do you think he has a better chance? This is just you thinking now, permutating based on your experience in politics.
Yes. Well, first and foremost, ADC is cutting every Nigerian without any special preference to anybody. Because in 2027, it's going to be the people of Nigeria against APC. And ADC is that alternative that they should have. We do not have any preference. Every Nigerian has equal importance to us. We are a party for the people. So when you say ADC is cutting, well, I'm telling you, we are cutting everybody. As I'm sitting here in this platform, I am cutting my way, and I am cutting you also.
Okay, well, interesting.
Political parties,
interesting angle, Mr. Okonkwo. Just a second. Interesting angle. Now, from what you and a host of other people built around Mr. Peter Obi in the run-up to the 2023 elections, you guys produced about 6 million votes. Now, you also said on this program so far that politics is a game of numbers. I don't have Mr. Peter Obi's numbers, and I'm not sure if Markwe has Mr. Peter Obi's numbers. Now, for a political party like the ADC, it's natural to expect that, okay, who has more political capital? Between the three of us, I would say it is Mr. Peter Obi, right? So, do you think, should the APC adopt Mr. Peter Obi as its candidate for the 2027 elections, will you be on his side?
No. No. ADC is going to go into democratic, free, fair presidential primary election. And whoever emerges, the party will support the person against Tinubu in 2027. That is the democratic thing to do. You do not allocate tickets to people, you contest for tickets. Anytime any party makes the mistake of allocating tickets to people, those people except it is by the consensus of all the candidates that want to contest. Those people eventually go to waste the ticket. I give you an example. In 2023, Tinubu was the leader of APC, yet APC could not allocate any tickets to him. He went in and contested and won in the primary and got himself very prepared for the exigencies of the general election. And with that capital by his side, with all the fellow contestants by his side, they were able to make INEC to pronounce Tinubu the winner of that election. So you need political elites, especially in Nigeria, as you need the people to vote for you.
Clearly, you are not in support of zoning.
Well, in 2027, I am not going to support zoning in ADC because the zoning arrangement now, especially as perpetrated by PDP, is a fraud.
So you have nothing against zoning?
No.
But you are not supporting it in 2027 for the ADC?
Absolutely. And one, it is because we are at this halftime of an incumbent that has run this country aground. And then, if you are in the opposition party, you cannot be talking about zoning your own ticket, because you need to get the best out of Nigeria to be able to fight an incumbent. But when there is no incumbent contesting the issue as an opposition party, you will be shooting yourself in the leg in any section. purely a political strategy to say, look, I am not going to cut the ATAs. I'm not going to shortchange you. So if I am elected, I will just do only 4 years to complete the ATAs of the South. So that's just the whole idea about it.
Well, zoning is a whole conversation by itself, and it's interesting as you understand the sensitivities that it portends, but we're totally out of time to discuss in this matter, Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo. I wish we had a little more time, but we really have to go. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. I hope you come again soon enough. Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo is a lawyer, columnist, public affairs.
So, a year ago, the guy now soldier for obedience. He clearly believed that obedience is powered by ideology, at least while he was responding to my question on Dr. Damage in 90 Minutes Africa. It's interesting to see him. My God. Dr. Damage, if you are hearing me, you have one job, just one job. Get out my back. Get out my back. I don't understand, man. So Tinubu is busy, the oil structures, which are where the money at. Believe anything money cannot do, more money do it, and he has not been wrong so far. So he's busy making those that put him in power, making them happy, tripling their wealth, north and south, east and west. Every billionaire is happy. I'm here to see one businessman that came out and complained about this business. Here to see one business person. Like, when I mean businessman, I'm talking about serious people. Serious business people. Everybody is happy. The royal institution, they're fucking happy too. More new ones are joining that clique. The street is happy. When I mean the street, I mean those men that run the streets. I know they talk of everyday people on the streets. The uniform guys are happy. The military guys, everybody. The top echelons are living. So he's focused on that, and I think he's happy with how things are turning out for him. Atiku, on the other hand, is busy cutting dissidents like Kenneth Okonkwo, those disgruntled elites who are becoming to realize that the only person that actually have the capacity to actually put them to work is Atiku, not Obi. So Atiku is focused on bringing the disgruntled elites in one cocoon. The Amechis of today, the Erufais, the Aribesholas. My God, I'm laughing because there's the more, as I say it out loud, it sounds funny because these men are Tinubu men, not long distance ago. So it's crazy. So Atiku is going around them, bringing them together. Why would we believe? Obi has no choice, since he's the black sheep of the elite family. He has to just focus on tailoring his message to the powerless and the broke people there. The poor people and the broke people. That's the biggest tax. That is the highest mountain to climb as a politician. How to get the majority of the people who the system to which he helped build are forgotten. It's hard. You have to be like Trump. Only Trump pull it off in this times and age. Only Trump did it. We all see what they went through. So, and he's a billionaire. So again, he's not just a billionaire. He's been on the TV. He's been on our face for over 40 years. I mean, so he has a lot of things that that set him apart. You know. So in a way, they meet him halfway. He meets the people halfway. They believe in him because he has money. They believe in him because pretty much has the media in his under his control, even though they slipped off the control the first time and they kick him out. But unless you are Trump, Obi need to step up his game. Obi needs to invest more in the people. He needs to build structure on ground. Like literally the noise that we are seeing online now should be equally be echoed on nooks and crannies of Nigerian villages and towns. Forget the cities. The cities are already on lockdowns. The city people understand what's up. They understand what's up. Go into the villages. Do like Redeem. Do like Winners. Do like Deeper Life. Go out there and go fishing and fish people. Literally, that is what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. So the Atiku is getting the better part of it. It's going to the elite because they are working towards their turn by turn, 2031, not necessarily 2027. So it's just a matter of fact. Okonkwo is gradually shifting to the next people in lines, to the north. Now, the easiest way to go to the north without as a southerner, as somebody from the southeast, if you want to be part of the next government after 2027, if you want to be part of the next government of 2031 and beyond, which is the northern people's turn, you have to work your way in now. That's what it's about. Those in APC automatically will migrate. That's not normal because the ticket is going to the north. But the other part of it, those people who are not in power, who are on the streets, they ain't got no choice. Atiku is their pipeline. So Kenneth Okonkwo is seeing the future. He's walking to the future. God will come bless him. Atiku will come carry Soludo as his running mate. Yon kanta shantara waposi kalapashi to yon kota sa. Okonkwo will go wild. Okonkwo, I like Okonkwo. Okonkwo is trying to hold a big position in ADC before the game become clouded, leading to the election proper. It will be a very prominent. He will play a prominent role in ADC, and by so doing, wherever the victory will come, either this 2027 or beyond, you will be automatically recommended. I'm not going to surprise if they carry ministerial position given under Tinubu next administration. So we're in for a treat. The future is bright. The future is very interesting. Interestiano, Alfuciano, Awetiano, Nigeriano, 2027 and beyond. Listen this man, they talking here.
Thank you very much. Please sit. Dear Father in the Lord, Bishop Michael Okonkwo, for doing me the exceptional honor of this invitation to deliver your 80th birthday lecture. And I must say that I would not have passed up this opportunity for anything, for any reason. Was the catalytic part of my own journey, spiritually, the first time that I heard Bishop Okonkwo preach was on television. He preached for a few minutes about repentance and salvation in Christ, and he made an altar call. And when he finished praying for those who might have been saved, he said something that I had never heard before. He said, go to a Bible-believing church near you. Let the pastor know you have received Christ so that they can help you to grow in the faith. I've not advertised your own church. It remained with me for very many years after. And subsequently, in years to come, I also became a Christian, a born-again Christian. The second notable encounter, of course, I'd interacted with Bishop Mike for several years after that. But the second notable encounter was when in 2014, 2015, I was nominated as vice presidential candidate of the APC. There was a controversy at the time amongst Christian leaders as to whether our ticket, that is the Buhari or Asiwaju ticket, should be supported. Bishop Mike had made up his mind and made it clear that he was supporting our ticket because of me. A meeting of senior Pentecostal leaders was called to decide the matter. They were all men of God who I knew well and who knew me well. It was Bishop Mike who asked me to attend the meeting to make my case to the other leaders. I arrived at the venue of the meeting and I sat in the waiting room. Many of the influential leaders at that meeting insisted that I must not be allowed into the meeting. And many, of course, considered my candidacy an aberration. And they clearly did not support the ticket. Bishop Mike was so angry. And he said he was shocked that a born-again Christian pastor, who they all knew well, would not be given an opportunity to speak to Christian leaders about a matter of such grave importance. When the matter was becoming a near altercation, I was advised to leave. Bishop Mike remained adamant. I left, of course. But Bishop Mike remained adamant that I must be given a chance to make my case to the Christian leadership. A few days later, he welcomed me to the meeting of regional heads of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria that was holding then at the TREM headquarters. There he gave me an opportunity to speak. It was an important meeting because I was able to clarify several misconceptions about our party and its presidential candidate. Through the years, Bishop Mike remained a steadfast supporter, helper, and guide of my political journey. And until I left office. Sir, I am extremely grateful, not just for your forthrightness and strong support, even when it did not appear at the time that we could even win the election, but even more for your constant support and encouragement till this very day. I want to thank you very much, sir, because not only did you stand up when very few were prepared to stand up, but you spoke up courageously to many people at the time, and you spoke in a manner that I think, even I was surprised, because several of those who you challenged on that occasion are people who usually are not challenged in that way. So I want to thank you very much, sir. In your remarkable run in ministry, you've had the unflinching love and support of our mother in the Lord, Bishop Peace Okonkwo. And I'm not sure, I think the story I heard is true, that when Bishop Mike was a poor, struggling preacher, after leaving his lucrative banking job in obedience to the call of God to ministry, Bishop Peace, who was then doing very well in England, still left all her comfort and chose to join Bishop Mike here in Nigeria. Your steadfastness and loyalty and love then and since have birthed this lighthouse of the ministry, whose impact continues to reverberate all over the world. Thank you for being a beacon of exemplary Christianity for this generation. Thank you. Those who, like the two servants, add value to the talents or resources that they have, and those who do not. So you take Africa's cocoa industry, for instance. Africa produces most of the world's raw cocoa. In many cases, countries export raw cocoa, adding no value. However, countries that have no cocoa at all, but process cocoa into chocolate, capture 96% of the profits. The raw materials producers receive only 4% of the value. So God gave sub-Saharan Africa 230 million hectares of arable land. He gave Israel only 440,000 hectares, less than 1 million hectares of arable land. But Israel is a net exporter of agricultural produce, and sub-Saharan Africa is a net importer of agricultural produce, despite all the arable land. Now, this illustration shows how adding value through processing creates wealth. So the Puritans on the pulpits of Europe traditionally taught that this work-based approach to prosperity, emphasizing hard work, diligence, adding value to resources, building wealth gradually through consistent effort. So the meaning of the power to get wealth, as is contained in Deuteronomy 8 verse 18, is that God gives us the power of creativity and innovation to be productive as we work diligently. This unfortunately is contrary or the opposite of messages that we hear sometimes on our pulpits in Nigeria and many parts of Africa. Messages on miraculous wealth, messages on miracle money alerts, anointing for wealth, and various versions of the doctrine that donations or sowing seeds will automatically return as wealth. Now, these types of messages do not build economies or institutions. Rather, they create a mindset that wealth will come by supernatural means, and they urge that we ignore the work and productivity and that we focus on the miraculous. That, of course, is no way to build nations. And that is why the gospel that transformed other nations economically and transformed societies economically is powerless to do the same if we preach the gospel in the wrong way. Second, the preachers of the Reformation preached that every type of work, every legitimate occupation was a calling through which God accomplishes his purposes. So their message was that serving God was not necessarily being a full-time pastor or church worker. Whatever your occupation was done faithfully as unto God. Martin Luther, for example, held that what seemed or is described as secular occupations are misnomer, such as farming, trading, engineering, accounting, or teaching, or even household chores. He said that they are seen by God as praise to him when done faithfully, and that they represent an obedience which is well-pleasing to God. So the preachers of the gospel also emphasized honesty and integrity in every aspect of life. The church in Germany, for example, had a catechism on the 10 Commandments, which was taught regularly. So, for example, the commandment, thou shalt not steal, was broken down into various practical implications. So if you're an employee and you use your employer's time for your own benefit, you're stealing because you are being paid and not working for your pay. And they give a practical example. They say even if you leave work to attend without the permission of your boss, you are stealing because you are getting paid without working. So taking money that does not belong to you, yes. No wonder the average German worker developed a strong work ethic and strong values of integrity. John Calvin, who established his ministry in the very important business and trading city of Geneva in the 16th century, he preached that honest and fair trading practices were important in glorifying God. So he preached to the congregations in Geneva, and of course this was a great influence all over Europe, that even to glorify God, that you cannot glorify God without being an honest person, without being an honest trader. You cannot glorify God. He taught that cheating in commerce was a sin against the image of God in my brother. Calvin, through his teaching and preaching and advocacy, got the authorities of the state of Geneva, which later became a part of Switzerland, to enact laws to ensure that the use of standardized weights and measures in trading came into force, and also to prevent cheating and dishonesty. Calvin's model influenced Protestant towns across Europe. Many of them adopted similar ordinances and enforcement bodies. And so they laid the early foundations for consumer protections and corporate accountability in modern legal systems. So when we talk about consumer protection today, when we talk about corporate accountability today in our legal systems, these foundations were laid by John Calvin and the Protestants of that time. The vigorous teachings from the pulpits on ethics in business, ethics in the factories and places of work led to a revolution in the work ethic in many parts of Europe, which is why the work ethic of honest, hard work and diligence was actually named after Christians of that era. It was called the Puritanic work ethic. So all over Europe and later America, this was how Christian principles were taught, and how the Christians in the marketplace, in politics, in the professions, in entertainment, were able to influence their societies and establish righteousness everywhere they were found. No wonder then that in those nations, stealing of public funds, bribery and corruption were the exception, and certainly not the rule. The church itself condemned dishonest practices and corruption openly. It was clear that you could not bring money, which was the proceeds of corruption, near the church, because hard work and productivity and integrity were the only acceptable ways of acquiring wealth as a Christian. Any sudden or unexplained wealth would lead to ostracization. You will be ostracized from the church if you were found to have money that you couldn't explain. The church in that era also preached the egalitarian notions of liberty, of justice, of fairness and equality. The pulpits teaching from Genesis 1 verse 27 that God created man in his own image meant that all men were equal before God, and all the laws and actions must protect that equality. It was these principles that established the principles of fundamental human rights, the Universal Declaration of Rights, and equal treatment under the law. In the same way, they preached what then became the founding principles of the rule of law. And this is found in Deuteronomy 17, verse 18 to 20, that the king himself must obey the law, so that no one is above the law. The law, the law stands over all. The law stands over everyone. So the Magna Carta, Libertatum, many of us lawyers are familiar with the Magna Carta, which is the greatest charter of the liberties from which all of the other charters of liberties have been derived, including the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and all other charters of freedom. All of them are founded on Christian principles. How about taking care of the poor? How about taking care of the poor and the vulnerable? The Puritan preachers reminded their congregations that even in the Old Testament, God made it abundantly clear that caring for the poor was non-negotiable for his people, and that he will bless those who did so. In Deuteronomy 15, verse 7 to 11, lays out God's heart. And he says, if there is among you a poor man of your brethren, within any of the gates in your land, which the Lord your God is giving you, you shall not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from your poor brother, but you shall open your hand wide to him, and willingly to lend him sufficient for his need, whatever he needs. Indeed, the only context where God promises to bless all that you do is when you are giving to the poor. Deuteronomy 15, verse 10. This theme echoes throughout Scripture. Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward them for what they have done. Proverbs 19:17. If you spend yourselves on behalf of the hungry, and you satisfy the needs of the oppressed, then your light will rise in the darkness. Isaiah 58, verse 10. God ties our light, our healing, and our blessing to how we treat the hungry and the afflicted. So the Puritans preached. They preached on their pulpits that the early Christians considered the welfare of the poor a cornerstone of the Christian faith. Talking about the fresh mandate, Paul, it was, when he was talking about the fresh mandate that he received for his ministry from the elders of the church in Jerusalem. He said in Galatians 2, verse 9 to 10, he said that all that the elders in Jerusalem desired of him is that he should remember the poor, the very thing which I also was eager to do. In James 1, verse 27, religion, true religion, is defined. It says religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless, in very practical terms, is what? To look after orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. So caring for widows and orphans, the people at the bottom of society, is what God calls pure religion. And the Puritans demonstrated in their preachings how in Acts 4, verse 32 to 35, the early Christians took responsibility for the poor in their midst. In verse 32, it says, now the multitude of those who believed were of one heart and one soul. Neither did anyone say that any of the things that he possessed was his own, but they had all things in common. Nor was there anyone among them who lacked. None among the Christian population lacked. Why was there anyone was there no one who lacked? It says, for all who were possessors of land or houses sold them, and brought the proceeds of the things that were sold, and laid them at the apostles' feet, and they distributed to each as anyone had need. And this is important, because sometimes people give the impression that what is required is to sell everything, lay it at the apostles' feet, and none will lack. No, that's not what the scripture says. If you sell everything and put it at the apostles' feet, people will lack, unless the apostles share, such that none will lack. That's what the scripture says. In fact, the distribution to the needy was such a key part of church life that the apostles in Jerusalem created an official role for it. It was the office of the deacon in Acts 6. So the office of the deacon initially was for people who would be distributing food, as you know, in Acts 6. This was established specifically to manage the fair daily distribution of food to widows. And scripture says that they chose 7 men full of the Holy Spirit and wisdom to oversee this task of distributing food. Why? Because making sure that the vulnerable were cared for was vital to the church's witness. This was the church. This is how the church is to operate. So only the very best were put forward to do that task. It wasn't a side project. It wasn't a department. No, it was the core ministry of the church. Jesus told 2 stories of persons who ended up in hell. There were stories of those who refused or failed to help the poor and the vulnerable. The first, as you know, is in Luke 16, verse 19 to 31. The rich man who saw poor and sick Lazarus outside his house every day, and he did not extend help. The second story that he told, of course you know that what then happened was that Lazarus ended up in heaven, not necessarily because he was poor, but that's another matter. But the rich man ended up in hell. But in Matthew 25, verse 31 to 46, Jesus concluded that those who ignore the poor and needy ignore him, and that those who help the poor and needy give to him. So the definition of giving to God, as described by Jesus Christ, is giving to